welcome to this video. I just want to make sure that you understand the basic concept of event handling inside of Unity. So in previous demo, in previous section, we talked about the new UI system and how to customize it and how to add a new functionality to your game, including make an animation, menus, toggle animation with a script, and do all that. I just want to cover in this section the custom event system that we have. So if you go, for example, here to the main camera, you're just gonna see here we got events. We got also something called input handler. So we have something here called inputs handler. So this is a general script that is attached to the Mindizor project that you can use this script in order to handle custom events related to your game. Like if you go to the game right now and you just want to add an image, a normal sprite, and you need to add an event to this sprite. So you can achieve this by using here our custom input events management, using the events script here, and also using something called inputs handler. So let me just go to the previous example here, and I just want to add a new, let's say a new button, or I just want to add a new functionality here. So right now, if I attach a new sprite to this project, so I just gonna come here and create empty. Once I create empty here, I'm just gonna say save this like sprite. Let me just like I just want to name it as sprite action. All right. So I get this game object here. It's inside the game. We don't have any. We just have a transform for it, which includes the position, the rotation, the scale, which is not transform. He was talking about transform. So let me just add some sort of shapes here by doing a new add of sprite render, and here just gonna select one of these images. So let me just select, for example, this icon here in the project or any other icon. So yeah, we got this icon here. Yeah, that's cool. Right now you can see we got this sprite, and we have here the main camera. As you can see, it's in here, it's in -1 in z-axis, and here the sprite is here, so we don't see the sprite. And you can go to 3D mode actually in order to see why we don't see the sprite. And this is the main camera here. Yeah, because it's away from the coverage area for the main camera, so you can't scroll. You can see the main camera is just right there here, and the object that we have, the sprite, is all the way here. So what we can do here, we can reset the position of this game object in order to make it somewhere here. Yeah, so I put the position here 0, 0, 0, so it's just gonna be in the coverage area of the camera. So I can go to this sprite action, and I'm just gonna go here to this tool and resize the game object. So you can come here, click, you can resize this game object from here back to 2D mode. Okay, you can resize it from here, or you can use the scale here in order to just resize the game object. So let's say 1.3 times 0.3, something like that. All right. So we got this sprite right now, and sprite action. I need to add an event to this sprite. So once I click on this sprite, I'm just gonna hide it. So in order to achieve this, we're just gonna come here and add something called button. So we have two types of buttons here. The first one is the standard UI button, which is basically here. If you go to game object, we have UI, we have button. This is a standard one, and we have another custom, which is button here. So you need to distinguish between these two. So I'm just gonna add this button, and here you can see for this button we have normal icon, we have hovering icon. So you can come here, for example, and choose this icon, and also choose this icon. Also you have sound audio effect here. You can add this sound, if you have any voice, like if I go here to the sounds folder, I can come and drag and drop one of these. So let me just go here and try add positive. Let me just add this one here. All right, so this is the first thing. We have another thing here called message. All right, so we have another way to call methods inside of Unity. So you can use send message option, or you could use like we did before for the standard UI button. You can add a button normally. So I just want to cover that in the next lesson, but first, in order to configure this custom button using the Mindizor custom button or the storyboard UI kit, we have the same core here. We're talking about button, we're talking about input handler. So just gonna cover all that. But first thing, you have to add this sprite and add a button to it. And after that, you have to add a tag here, specific tag. And the tag here, we need to add a new tag called UI button. So we have to add this tag and assign it to this sprite action. Okay. And after that, we have something called message. We have something called message object. And here we have also a sprite render component. So you have to drag the same object here in order to get an instance to it here. All right. So this is the basic setup of the custom button. And right now, if we go, for example, here and click play, all right, you could click in this icon, but nothing gonna happen because we have to add this button into the input handler. So here I should add something called events here, and also I should add something called input handler. And we use this input handler, custom input handler, to handle the input from the user, including mouse click and all that. Here inside the event system, we have something standard here. We have something called touch input module, we have standard input module, and here we have event system. So this is the standard one that comes with the UI system, the new Unity UI system, which is here, the UI. So all these events are triggered here, but here we're talking about custom one, which is our own events and our own input handler. So in order to work with events here, you can add first a main camera here inside the input handler, because we need to trigger the raycast. So I'm not gonna talk about that right now, but you have to trigger this raycast by using the input handler. So we need the camera, and also we have events object. So I'm just gonna also, because the main camera got the events object here, you have to drag it here. Also we have an array of panes, so you have to come here and add an array of panes. Right now we just got only one custom pane here, so I have to make size of it is 1 and drag and drop this sprite action here. Alright, we have something called upgrade dialog overlay. Forget about them right now because we're not gonna use that in the current scene. So you can go to the event script and edit it right now without any problem. But let me just back here. So notice we have a sprite render, we have a button, and also we need to attach, because this is sprite, we need to attach something called collider. So we have to come here and add a collider. So collider 2D. So what is collider? Because we want to touch the screen, so we don't want to collide with the screen with the touch. So with the raycast, so there's something called raycast. This raycast is gonna touch this sprite, so we have to add this box collider here. So you notice here the green box around this icon, which is this is the collider that we have. So you can add a box collider, or you can add something else here, like you add something called polygon collider. So we have here polygon collider, and notice here we just shaded the icon of the game, not a box, it's just the icon of the game. You can click here, edit, and just edit the collider the way that you want, but we need to cover all the icon here, not only the icon. So I have here box collider, as you can see here. Yeah, so I can click here save, for example, and click play. Alright, this is the icon. So right now I can click here, but you're just gonna notice that we get object reference, not set an instance. So we got this error because once we click on this button, if you go here, you're just gonna notice that we don't have a reference to the audio controller. So that's why we have to add a reference to the audio controller in this scene. So in order to add a reference to the audio controller, we basically can go to any of the previous scenes, like let's go, for example, to the game scene or main scene here, and let's just copy the audio controller from here and paste it inside this scene. Or click here, paste. Yeah. You can hear right now, once we click on this icon, you can hear the music, but here we have an empty message. So in the next video, we're just gonna show you how to add a new function, relate this sprite action to function inside the events here. So anytime you want to work with a custom event and with a custom sprite action, you can do this like we did here. So you have, to summarize, we have to add a new game object, add a sprite render, a button to it, a polygon collider or a collider 2D or circle collider 2D, and after that we have to add a tag here called UI button, and you have to go to main camera, add events to it, and then inputs handler, and assign the button here, the sprite action, to this buttons array, because we want to trigger them inside the event handler. And we have to drag and drop the different component here, include the main camera, because we're working with the main camera and to get the raycast from the main camera. So this is basically, guys, how to make a custom button. In the next video, just going to show you how to associate this custom button, custom sprite button with more advanced things, like we relate this to a message with a certain function inside our script. So for that time, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.